So let this be the last day in your life for crying and worrying and expecting someone to help. No, let this be the last moment in your life for crying and worrying and expecting someone to help. All this nonsense, throw it away. You're not born to be like this. You're not. And without using the divine power within you, no matter how much ever power you get, how much ever position you achieve, the peace is next to impossible. Rather, taking all the effort to do some puja and reciting some mantras, all that do it, it's your choice. But nothing is going to fix your problem unless you don't take any effort to fix your mentality in reality to realize you are the only available divine energy for you in this birth. See, there is nothing wrong in working towards achieving the social status that you want to live. Many people think spiritual practice is a practice to get into a process where you expand yourself in spiritual life and keeping yourself away from the practical life. I'm not even telling a personal life or professional life, a practical life. It is next to impossible to have a good life during your existence without understanding spiritual practice is an essential requirement in practical reality. Not in, imaginary world, not for some moksha, not for some mukti, not using the big word like liberation, transformation, oneness. No, on a very fundamental level. All the knowledge that you acquire or all the knowledge that you possess is only to satisfy your stomach, sex, and social status. Nothing more than that. Without the supreme knowledge or understanding about the spirit which is within you, not outside of you, you cannot create a peaceful life for your own self. I'm not telling you to create a peaceful world. I'm not telling you to create a peaceful society. If you really want to contribute, the only thing that you can do to create a peaceful society is to create a peace within your own self. Because at the time of adversity, you will search for solution which will give you some certainty. But any adversity is only because of there is an adversary which is the reason for the adversity. But a spiritual knowledge will make you realize you won't be the reason for adversity. At least you will no more be your adversary for the adversity that you're going through. I'm not telling you to be your advisory, but at least you will no more be your own adversary who is the reason for the adversity that you're facing in the present situation. For that reason, know your own self. At least practice that stillness. I'm not using the word called meditation because many people think motionless state is meditation. No, it is a state of awareness in which you consciously take effort to raise your awareness without any thought. And slowly put yourself into practice of reading something which will make you realize the God within you, not outside of you. Some point of time you realize that you are that God in human form. Aham Brahmashmi, Tattvamasi. It is your, responsibility to create a condition in the present to create a future without a pain and suffering. It's no one's responsibility. It is not even God's responsibility. It is your responsibility to create the condition in the present to create a future without a pain and suffering. For that, some point you need to take effort to realize your own self. I'm not using the word divine self. At least realize your own self. Then you will automatically realize the divine nature, your true nature. That's the reason, Vivekananda puts it in a very beautiful way. There is no point in believing in God unless you don't have the power to believe in your own self. Our Shastra puts it in a very wonderful way that entire humanity need to realize. Your faith in God is measured by the faith in your own self, not faith in something else. When you don't have the faith and confidence in your own self, which means your faith in God is a superficial word. It is all perverted concept. Uttering, muttering, useless, Let's not get into it. Please, you're not wasting time, you're wasting life. But what will happen if you take effort to realize that you are your true self? What will happen if you take effort to realize your true self? you will be shocked to see the changes that you see on your own self. You will start living a new and great life, much more better than the present situation. Because your mind will transcend all the limitations that it is fixed upon its own self. Once the mind transcends its limitation, your thought will break all the bondages, that which is not possible for you in the present time. Automatically your thought will break all the bondages. And above all, because of realizing who you are, your true nature, dormant power within your body and brain will start functioning. See, I'm not using some, superpower. Some angels will come and help you. There is some power which is not active because you are not functioning from the state of consciousness, realizing that you are the true self. Realizing that you are that consciousness. From this state of conscious action, the dormant power within your brain and body will start functioning for you. Once this happens, automatically the shift that you see in life experience can never be explained. Because two things will happen. You will feel that I am living a life much more better than what I wanted to live. You're already having an expectation about life. You will not only live the life that you're expecting to live, you will live a life much more better than what you're expecting to live. And secondly, you will feel that you are much more greater than what you thought about your own self, not someone else. You hold a concept about your own self. You have your own self-concept about your true nature. Now you will realize you are much more greater than what you thought about your own self. Then everything will change in life. Slowly, everything will change in life. The first thing that you will see in relationship. Because if you want to create a life without a problem in relationship, you need to first fix the problem with your own self, not someone else. Once you fix the relationship within your own self, you will automatically fix every relationship problem in your life. There is no such thing called interpersonal skills. It is called interhuman skills. That interhuman relationship will automatically be beautiful only when you fix the relationship within your own self. And that will happen only when you realize your own self, not someone else, not talking about God, not praising God, not doing puja to God. Everything is useless if you don't satisfy this one simple requirement, to know your own self. To know your own self. So I'll put it in this way. Living a good life is guaranteed. All that you need to do is, have you taken committed effort to know your own self and to keep a sustained awareness about your own self? On a certain level, you need to take that effort for some time. That's the reason it's called maturity. In engineering terms, there is something called shuttering. People into construction industry will know that. Once it is strong enough, automatically de-shuttering will happen. It no more needs a support to make it rigid. So on the initial level, you need to put yourself into practice of reminding who you are, understanding the reality about your own self. After a certain point of time, the shuttering is no more required. Now the de-shuttering will automatically happen. Automatically happen. So you tell yourself, with the knowledge about the self, even an ordinary man will live an extraordinary life. Even an ordinary man. But without the knowledge about the self, even with extraordinary knowledge, you will land up in living not even ordinary life. Not even ordinary life. So rather taking effort to go to a place to receive some power from God, rather taking all the effort to do some puja and reciting some mantras, all that do it, it's your choice. But nothing is going to fix your problem unless you don't take any effort to fix your mentality in reality, to realize you are the only available divine energy for you in this birth. You are the only available divine source in this birth. And without using the divine power within you, no matter how much ever power you get, how much ever position you achieve, the peace is next to impossible. Next to impossible. So let this be the last day in your life for crying and worrying and expecting someone to help. No, let this be the last moment in your life for crying and worrying and expecting someone to help. Throughout of all the, nonsense in your mind, feeling that hopelessness, nervousness, all this nonsense, throw it away. You're not born to be like this. You're not. By very nature, you are blessed with all the power. Only then it makes a sense to, accept and realize you are that God power. You are that God power. Let's do it now. Let's do it immediately. Not wasting any more minute or any more second. Right now, right here, while listening, you decide only this thing and feel how it feels only for next 3 days. Even though I don't believe that I have the God power, but from now and for the next 3 days, I'm going to operate everything thinking that I am the God power. Just for next 3 days. I want to see the practical changes that you see in your life, not even by understanding, but by accepting. You think you're faking yourself. You think you're cheating yourself. Even you are very clear that I'm only going to think or assume that I have the God power, and I'm going to operate for next 3 days, only for next 3 days. From the zone of mentality, you see what kind of the changes you will see in your life, or at least within your own self. The entire aspect of thought process will change. Once the thought process changes, the approach towards life will change. Once the approach towards the life changes, your attitude will automatically shift towards, a positive mentality. Then everything is magic. You will feel that everything is working out for you. Every time, everywhere, you will feel that everything is working out for you. In fact, from now and forever, everything will work out for you. Work out for you. Because you want it or not, you are not just a human. You are a divine in human form. Aham Brahmasmi.